crap. I only have 5 health left. If I take this hit, I'm done for. What do I do? If anybody's listening, give me a miracle. Evade. Counterattack. We won. The party did it. Adding some RNG to your turn-based game can add a little excitement to it or really irritate your player. That's why I'll be implementing Evasion, Counterattacking, plus a secret mechanic that you just gotta watch to find out. So, Project Another World, what is it? Well, if you're asking that question, that means somebody didn't watch the last devlog. Naughty, naughty. But it's okay. If you desire my forgiveness and a basic understanding of this project, simply click the link in the description to catch up. Implementing Evasion. Where do I begin? Firstly, I must calculate when a unit should evade. Project Another World has 7 attributes: strength, intelligence, charisma, wisdom, agility, endurance, and finesse. It's this finesse that determines a unit's effectiveness when it comes to evasion and technique. And what is technique? Basically, this game's version of accuracy, which determines the difficulty of a target evading your attack. Originally, I wanted accuracy and evasion to be measured as a percentage because it's intuitive for the player. 50% evasion means 50% chance of dodging attacks, right? But that poses a problem. What happens when a player with 100% accuracy attacks an enemy with 100% evasion? I could cap the enemy's stats so that their evasion could never be that high, but there's still the scenario where a player's party member could attack a fellow member under the charmed status effect. So I decided to use arbitrary values, which I was originally against because what does 5 evasion mean? They're stats that make more sense as percentages. Therefore, I'll display technique and evasion like this to the player, showing the average percentage of them evading attack from enemies of similar levels. Now that I'm using arbitrary values, I gotta create a formula which takes the target's evasion and attacker's technique to produce an evasion charm. Then the computer does a roll to see if the target evades or not. With the formula implemented, I began by adding an event text when a unit evades. And that's evade done, everybody. Thanks for watching. Yeah, no. This one cut it. Firstly, I should scrap this camera shake. That effect should only happen when a hit connects. Lovely. The camera no longer shakes when a target evades, so it really feels like the attacker missed the mark. Next, I think it'll be nice to actually add an evasion animation. I added a simple strafe left animation for Keenan's evade. However, it feels like the evade occurs very late. I'm going to have it trigger earlier, and it feels much better like the attack is actually being evaded. But when attacked from the side, it looks a bit weird. Now when attacked from a direction other than the front, the target faces the attacker then evades. I added another animation for returning after evaded. I did a mini test battle between Keenan and Jimmy. And we have a winner, Keenan the Elder Vampire, whose strength stat was double Jimmy's, and I'm certain if Jimmy was still alive, he would be furious that he was forced to participate in such an unfair fight. Oh, that's awkward. He heard me and was just playing dead. Editor, transition to the next scene now! With evasion animations added for all units, it's time to move on to counterattacking. FYI, I added the target's evasion chance up here just for your viewing pleasure. You're welcome. Counterattacking can only occur if the counterattack is enraged and the target won't absorb, reflect, or nullify the damage. And here's the counterattack added. Since Keenan's basic attack animation is quite excessive, I used Jimmy's attack animation for Keenan's counterattack. Anyway, I should make this look better. First, I added a counter event canvas to notify the player of what's happening. Second was to add a nice camera shot of the counterattack. As the counterattack can have various ranges, for instance, Arturo's counter has a range of 3 because he's an archer. I created a camera with a targeting group component. This ensures the camera will keep all units listed under targets in frame, no matter their distance between. I also altered the camera settings to have the counterattack camera always behind the initial attacker despite both units' position. Before we get to the final battle, it's time to implement that secret mechanic I mentioned at the start. Can you guess what it is? Backstab! Yeah, I decided to add a backstab mechanic. I think the player should be rewarded for getting behind a unit and attacking them. It's a good tactic, especially for units with weaker attacks, as backstabs do 50% more damage than a normal attack. But I don't think it's fair if a unit is guarded and they can be backstabbed. To solve this, I updated the guard action. When a unit is guarded, they will rotate to face the active unit only if it's an enemy, because it doesn't really make sense for Keenan to be on guard when his ally is moving, unless they've been charmed, but that's something to implement later. Initially, I thought it's fair for backstabs to be unavailable as the character can't even see it coming, but looking at it from the player's perspective, let's say they've invested 800 points in finesse out of the highest possible 819. That's a lot of effort put into finesse just for some weak ass enemy to hit you with a backstab and you're dead. I came up with a compromise. A backstab reduces the target's evasion by 75%. Only a character with insane finesse is going to 100% evade a backstab, which I think is fair, or maybe not. Let me know in the comments. Okay, I implemented evasion, counterattack, and a backstab. Run the test battle! Okay, Jimmy goes for Kira. Her evasion chance is only 7% because Jimmy's finesse is pretty high compared to hers. Fortunately, Arturo has a high finesse of his own, making it difficult for Bonko to evade here. No evade so far, but I doubt Kira's gonna get this hit. Yep, just as I said, 86% evasion chance. That is insane. Ooh, but now Keenan has a perfect backstab opportunity. What the f***? Only 60% evasion. Hey, keep it PG, my innocent kids are watching. Sorry. Nice, Arturo hits the backstab. And Imani evades, and Cooper's down. Cooper's gotta be sour about that. 14% evasion chance and still counted. Sucks to be you, Cooper. I think the evasion mechanic adds some nice unpredictability and excitement to the game. The counter-attacking is rather punishing, but I do like it. Currently all attacks are melee minus Arturo's, but in the future it'll be easier to avoid a counter-attack by using a ranged skill. The backstab is a nice strategic mechanic that rewards good positioning, so I'm happy with these new additions to the gameplay. But how about you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments and make sure to like and subscribe, because when I hit 500 subs, I'll be attempting to make a game in 24 hours. 24 hours? Yep, you heard me right. So if you want to subject me to such stress, then hit the subscribe button and tell your friends.